Hello everyone. Today I have decided to give you certain hints on two very important questions that come for your examination. The first one is the significance of the title, the significance and appropriateness of the title of the story. Second one is the relation between Jim and King Solomon. Okay, so let's start with the first question. William Sidney Porter, who is popularly known as O. Henry, is known for some of the best short stories written in English. Much of his work emphasizes on the middle class ethos, the New York society, their conditions of life, their frustrations and anxieties. As I have told you earlier, The Gift of the Magi is a story of a young couple whose life, though disturbed by the rough tides of economic depression, is illuminated with the warmth of their love and affection for one another. The way they undoubtedly sacrifice their most beloved assets for the sake of adding to the happiness of one another implies the significance of the title. Now, as per the biblical story in the Gospel of Matthew, three wise men, called or generally referred to as the Magi, they traveled all the way from the east to Bethlehem with rich and precious gifts for the infant Jesus. Their gifts were wise ones, as they carried symbolic meanings indicating the roles Christ would play on earth. The gifts, being precious and material gifts, were of value and therefore exchangeable in case of duplication. On the other hand, in the story, Jim and Della are struggling. They are trying, or rather, you can call it, they are thinking hard how they can gift one another something valuable and rare, something that is suitable to their, value, to their human value, what kind of value each one of them held in the other's life. As they were a poor couple, they could not think of gifting something very costly or very expensive, but they had to do something. They had to show their love for one another. It was Christmas after all. Della and Jim did not have enough savings for doing the same. As Della tells, $20 a week does not go far. Jim was earning only $20, which was not enough for Della to, make up with the household expenses. Expenses had been greater than what she had estimated. Now, Della and Jim, they are left with no option other than trading off their prized possessions. That is, Della's hair and Jim's gold watch, which was a family heirloom. Thus, they give away their assets to purchase a set of combs for Della's lustrous hair and a platinum fob chain for Jim's watch. No doubt the gifts are expensive, but ironically, they are rendered useless as the assets for which the gifts were meant are gone. But the essence of the story is that Jim and Della's sacrifices, which were made to purchase the gifts, transcend all material value that dominate the materialistic modern world. Their sacrifice cannot be explained or estimated in material terms. A mathematician or a wit would give you the wrong answers. You remember O. Henry telling us that a mathematician or a wit, he won't be able to calculate the difference between $8 and 1 million. The Magi's gifts were expensive and rare, each different from one another: gold, myrrh, and frankincense, and each representing the value of Jesus Christ on earth. However, their gift did not contain the sacrifice which Jim and Della made for one another. The gifts thus have brought them closer as each of them, or rather both of them, realize how much value they hold in one another's life. Therefore, in a word of wisdom, the author asserts that the gifts given by Della and Jim to one another are the real gift of the Magi, and they are equal in status to the Magi of the East. So this is how you can shape up or write down your answer for the first question, that is how the title of the story is significant and appropriate. Okay, so this question comes for 4 marks. I suppose you would be able to write down the answer properly now. Okay, so let us come to the next question. What is the relation between King Solomon and Jim? So you might have noticed that O. Henry, in his story, which is clearly a celebration of pure and innocent love, here Henry makes extensive use of allusions, examples, to render magnitude to its thematic significance. In the narration, the author makes a reference to the wise and rich King Solomon in order to suggest the significance of Jim's ancestral watch, which was his only prized possession. Now, James Dillingham Young, who was lovingly addressed to as Jim by his wife Della, he happened to be the owner of a grand gold watch which had been handed down the generations and ultimately passed on to him. This watch, being a family heirloom, carried massive importance in Jim's life. In the face of dismaying poverty, Jim looked up to his watch with great sense of pride and honor. Even all the wealth of King Solomon, I suppose you remember what I told about King Solomon, that he was one of the richest kings. So it is told in the Bible and other stories. Now, in front of the wealth of King Solomon, his gold watch carried greater importance, greater value. He would love to imagine King Solomon as the janitor. Janitor means caretaker of his building, and plucking at his beard with envy when he had just one glimpse of Jim's watch. King Solomon, despite having all his riches, he would be envious of Jim's gold watch. That was the value of his gold watch, or so Jim thought. Though the extent of imagination is quite ironical, because we can know, or rather we know, that King Solomon is a king who had huge or rather bountiful treasures and wealth. This fact throws light upon Jim's value, Jim's esteem for his only precious belonging. As suggested in the Bible, King Solomon is also the epitome of wisdom, and that is why the Queen of Sheba had come to his court to test his wisdom. But we find that in the story, Jim seems to have acted most foolishly by selling off, by trading off his gold watch just to buy Della's set of combs. His act is considered foolish, as the lost possession could not be retrieved. He had already sold the watch and there was no chance of getting it back. Thus, he stands in sharp contrast to the wise Solomon, but only on a literary level. If you go on to see, in the metaphorical level, Jim rises above the narrow conventions of the materialistic world, where the importance of a thing is judged on the basis of its price. Jim, by sacrificing his gold watch, has proved that his love for Della is more important than anything else in this world. Thus, we find the author glorifying Jim's act of self-sacrifice, which is actually the essence of Christmas or any festive act, as the wisest of gifts one can ever offer to someone is love. Okay, it is true love which is the actual gift that anybody would desire and everybody should have for one another. In this way, we can understand that King Solomon's King Solomon's wisdom can be compared with the wise act that Jim had made. Though on the top it seems like Jim had acted foolishly by selling off his gold watch, the real wisdom that a person should have, it is his act of sacrifice. By sacrificing his material thing, he has proved that his emotional value for Della, it is more, or it is greater, and that is of more significance. So I suppose you have understood how the author has tried to draw in a relationship between Solomon and Della. First of all, Solomon's riches being compared with Jim's watch, as Jim feels that his watch is precious than all the wealth that King Solomon possesses, and also King's wisdom that is being compared. On the top, it seems like Jim stands in sharp contrast with the wisdom of King Solomon, but ultimately it is proved that he is actually as wise as King Solomon. He is indeed a Magi. So, Dear students, thank you very much for listening. I suppose you have understood these two questions. Now I would like you to write down the questions. Okay? So I'll send you your work immediately after a few seconds. Thank you.